What's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 15, Episode 6. So if you haven't seen the 6th episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 15, turn this video off right now. Go watch the episode and come back and watch this video. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's an easy and free way to support my channel. It literally takes less than 4 seconds. Literally less than 4 seconds. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm not a public speaker, as you can see. I'm going to be stuttering. Might hear me say like 1,000 times, so like 1,000 times. I definitely will be pausing to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Definitely looking to my notes over here that I take throughout the show. As I keep mentioning, I finally got my glasses, so I don't got to be squinting no more and doing like this all into my phone. What else? Oh, yeah, anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Ain't nobody forcing me to say anything. These are my thoughts and expressions, all that good stuff. Am I forgetting to say anything? Oh, yeah, I don't know who really paid attention to my background, but as you can see, I am not home, so I don't have my big water bottle. I just got a regular water bottle. What else was I about to say? And yeah, I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. I'm going to grade this episode. I got to grade it like a B+, just because Kandi turned up a little bit in this episode. So I got to grade it. I got to give it a little higher grade. She turned up in this episode. We rarely get to see Kandi turn up. But this is our second time seeing her turn up this season. She turned up in the first episode with Courtney, and now she's turning up in this episode with Marlo. So I was like, I got to give it a B+ because Kandi turning up in this jump. I did say last episode I was going to start doing MVPs of the episode. Ain't nobody really give me nothing this episode. I watched this episode and there was nobody that had me like, oh, okay, that's what I'm talking about. I guess I would say the MVP of this episode is Kandi. But I feel like she was giving too much that Marlo wasn't giving back. So it was just like, that's why I feel like, should I give Kandi the MVP? I don't really feel like anybody deserved the MVP this episode. I will say Drew caught me off guard this episode because she was like, she called Marlo something at the end of this episode. I gotta look at my notes. What did she call her? Oh yeah, she called her a hoe trick. And I was surprised to hear that come out of Drew's mouth, especially talking about we don't say shooting where I'm from. But you could say hoe trick. So she a hoe trick. But okay. I don't think I have an MVP for this episode. If I did, I would probably say Kandi. Like maybe Kandi. But yeah, last chance. If you haven't seen the 6th episode of Season 15 of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, turn this video off right now because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. Okay? So at the beginning of this episode, they showing like I guess the development to mismanagement of Marlo and Kandi's friendship. Like they showed the ups and downs. They showed the ups first, how they were so cool and all that, and then they started to show the what did they show? They were showing like Kandi and Marlo's friendship when they were good. So then they started to show text messages between Marlo and Kandi of the whole situation with Marlo's nephew. So the text messages show like Marlo calling Kandi yams. Like, did you have a guy named Quentin working at the restaurant? Kandi says, I don't know. I would have to check. And then I think she texts back and said, yeah, we do, but he don't work there anymore. And then Marlo texts back and say, that was my nephew. He got killed last night. And then Kandi replies and says, what did she say? Oh, she says, damn, sorry to hear that. So this is the storyline that Marlo's trying to go with this season. And ain't nobody feeling it. Like, Marlo, this is your second season, and you still coming with stupid storylines that we don't want to hear. Last season, what was her storyline last season? I can't even remember, but she was coming at everybody last season, coming at Marietta for being a lapdog, coming at Kandi, coming at Kenya, just coming at whoever she could come at. And now this season, she coming up with these other storylines that don't make no... Like, basically trying to make it seem like Kandi or her people or her organization's establishments had something to do with Marlo's nephew being killed, which is not the case. Like, we seeing it play out. And then in this episode, we get more detail. Well, I get more details because, some people probably already knew. Like, this episode, I found out, I'm not going to keep saying we because some people already know and I didn't. I found out late, chat. I be slow. I be smoking. I be high. But what I did find out this episode was that the guy that killed the guy that killed Marlo's nephew, he didn't work at OLG. He was a Patreon. He was somebody that maybe frequented there, or just maybe was there buying some food at the time. And then it was something else they brung up. I guess I just have to wait until. Let me just go let me go scene for scene so I can know where I'm at. So the day after after that text thread is shown between Marlo and Kandi, they show the next day Marlo comes to Candi's house, and Kandi has such nice words to say about Marlo, saying people always want to bring up her past and her arrest and all that, but she's actually a sweetheart, kind person and all that. So then they show Marlo sitting down with Kandi, Marlo getting emotional, talking about her nephew. Kandi gets up to console her and everything. So I'm just like, and then they show Candi's confessional saying she can only imagine what Marlo goes through, because Marlo consider all her cousins and nephews and nieces her kids, just like Kandi does. And then they show Candi's cousin or nephew or something that got shot recently at Blaze. And she was basically like I understand what Marlo's going through. I can only imagine losing somebody that you consider a child or close to it, all that. So that's why I say, Marlo, you reaching with the storyline. Then they fast forward to the next year, 2021, I think. 2022, I don't remember. And it started to show, like, the dwindling of Kandi and Marlo's friendship. Like, started to show them getting into it from last season when she got the peach. I feel like she got her peach. I feel like Marlo got her peach and then felt like, I'm going to try to come at the biggest one on the show, Kandi or Kenya. That's all she been doing. She ain't got Nene there no more to stand behind. You got to stand on your own, but you can't keep doing this stuff where you talk so much trash and then you try to hide your hands, like you try to play victim after the fact. And I love Marlo. Like I said last review I had, I was one of the people that was rooting for Marlo to get a peach. I was like, she always give us the funny, the shade and all that. But now she came on the show and actually got her peach, and she just giving too much harsh shade. It's too, like, the shade, her shade her shade gets out of hand. Like, she does too much. So they show this little scene. Marlo, she out to eat with her, I think they said it was her manager and the manager's husband or boyfriend. I don't know who the guy was. But he was telling them, he was like, y'all get whatever y'all want, my treat. I was like, okay, he seemed like a cool dude. Whatever. So they starting to ask Marlo about what type of men she like to date. So Marlo gets to talking about, well, I got the boys now, so if I meet a man, he got to be able to deal with me and having the boys around, da-da-da. Then she starts talking about Courtney's event, saying, I don't even know if I want to go, because Drew done ran her mouth to Kenya about the situation that we had. She brings up the fact that Drew tried to act like she was scared to say the word shooting, this, that, and the third. Then Marlo says, I don't know if she said this to the people she had lunch with or if she said this in her confessional, but she said she don't remember. What'd she say? She said she don't remember anything happening after Drew was talking at her while she was sitting down about losing people to gun violence and all that. So basically trying to say she don't remember getting all up in Drew's face. Even though it was for a split second, Marlo, you did it. You did it. Even though it was for a split second, she got in her face, she said, my nephew is dead, bitch, and then walked off. That was literally 3 seconds, but still, you did it, Marlo. Now, if Drew trying to drag it, make it seem like you was in her face the whole altercation, then I would understand where Drew coming from. Then I would understand why people would say, why she would say Drew is a liar. If Drew's saying that the whole altercation, Marlo's in her face, then Drew's a liar. But from what I'm saying, Drew's not saying that. She's just saying at one point in this altercation, you did get up in my face. Which you did, Marlo. This is a show where they record it. So you going to see it. They going to see it. So what she say? Marlo says in the moment where they was talking about the she says she starts talking about her nephew again, saying that she expected more from Candy. Like, I guess they send flowers, you send some money, something, expecting more from Candy. Who, excuse me. Oh, she says in this moment, oh yeah, I already knew this. Damn, I keep burping. Marlo says in this moment at this lunch with these two people, she says that her nephew wasn't shot at OLG, and we knew that. If I'm not mistaken, I could have swore she said earlier in the season that her nephew got shot in the apartment he was sharing with the guy. See, this is where the story started not to make sense. So her nephew was rooming with the guy that was at OLG, but he wasn't even working there. He was a patron. I'm so confused now. I didn't even think about that. I need the story explained a little more. I don't know. Because the way Sheree explained it, she said that they was roommates living together, and the roommate worked at OLG, and the nephew didn't. And they got into it at the apartment, and the dude killed the nephew. But in this episode, you got Marlo saying that the dude didn't even work at OLG. He was just a patron. So it's just like, now, why are you even trying to connect OLG? Like, that's what I said. Marlo, everybody's saying, like, girl, she gonna break her arms reaching that hard. Everybody's saying it. So then we get to this scene with Sonya and her family. I like Sonya's family because I just like Jamaicans. I just feel like they are such cool people. Like, I really want to go to Jamaica one day. But I want to go to Africa first. I definitely want to go to Africa before I go to Jamaica. No offense to Jamaica. I love Jamaica, even though I haven't been there. But I just love their little Jamaican household. So Sonya in the kitchen. Good news, guys. Her little brand, Mommy Nation. They putting it on a website, belt.com. I guess it's a real popular website. I think Sonya said they had like over 700,000 or 700 different audiences that frequent the website. I don't remember, but apparently it's good news. Sonya's excited about it. She was like, I don't know how I'm gonna juggle all this stuff when I got my family quitting on me and stuff, like trying to take a dig at her brother-in-law. While the sister standing right there, this sister make a little face like, girl. So then Sonya gets that, I know I might have offended you by telling you how Ross felt about wanting everybody to move out, this, that, and the third. So the sister was like, well, I was shocked to hear that because I feel like this setup that we got, it definitely works best for you and Ross. She's saying that to Sonya. Sonya, like, that's what I've been saying. Like, he don't understand. Like, when I go out and place, what she say? Yeah, she was like, yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell Ross. Like, you don't understand that we got like a whole living nanny. We got all the stuff we need and we ain't paying for it, da-da-da. And I was in my head like, did you say that? I cannot remember that conversation when she had with Ross. Did they even show that? Or was that an unseen? I don't remember. But that conversation she had with Ross was like, I just wanted to be the Ross household. Did she say all this stuff that she's saying to her sister and mother? Did she say that to Ross? I cannot remember. I don't think she did. I was like, girl, you ain't say none of this to Ross. I don't know. Maybe she did. I can't remember. Like I said, I'd be stoned. I don't remember. And Sonya says in her confessional, like, with her hectic schedule, it just feels more comfortable for her to know that her son is at home with family, people that care about him, love him, this, that, and third. She ain't got to worry. Which I understand, but if your husband feeling away, you gotta try to meet him halfway before y'all start having issues within y'all marriage. She was like, she telling her sister and mother, like, sometimes Ross just don't understand the logistics. Like, he always gone. We supposed to be having a baby. And they did mention that the first episode, I think they said something about her and Ross was on FaceTime saying something about we need to be working on this baby. But that was the last we heard of it, so. So then the sister and the sister like, oh, Ross thinks this is, he thinks that that everyone here is it's totally unnecessary, that y'all can handle things on your own. The mom agreeing like, yeah, he thinks that. It's like y'all can handle things without the family. Sonya said she gonna talk to Ross about a realistic timeline. And mom and sister was like, oh, we leaving regardless. We ain't about to be staying somewhere we don't want to be. I mean, we not wanted type stuff. So he was like, we leaving regardless. So then the Mama Sharon gets a confessional scene. Trying not to cough. Mama Sharon gets a confessional scene. She said in her confessional, she was like, well, what she say? She said she basically back and forth about it. Like, of course, she wants to go out there and enjoy her life without having to be like a in-house nanny babysitter type situation. But then she said it's also unsettling to know that they want her out. They want them out and things like that. She even tells Sonya like, your dad wants to stay. So Mama Sharon's back and forth about it, as we can see, because one minute we'll see her agreeing with Sonya, and then next we'll see her in the confessional agreeing with the sister. I think her name is Sherry. I don't know her name, so I just say the sister. So the sister tells Sonya, she was like, "There's gonna be a gaping hole in this house when we leave." Tells Sonya that. Sonya was like, "Well, what am I She was like, "What am I fighting for y'all to stay for then if y'all still adamant on leaving?" And they ain't had nothing to say. The sister was like, "Can you get something out the microwave or oven or something for me, Sharon?" Sonya was like, "Nope, you do it yourself since you want to leave." I was like, "Oh Lord, Sonya." Oh Lord, that's what you're gonna do now? They still looking after your kids. Whatever that was she was getting out the oven, maybe it was for your child. Well, no, because she was taking Deuce in another room. I don't know, whatever. So we get to see Kenya's little friend again, Akila. I wonder if she's going to be like a permanent friend of. So she comes on the scene. Her and Kenya, they looking at, I think they looking for like spaces for like, Kenya's little, Kenya got the Kenya More hair care. So I think she's looking for a space to actually like put it there, or like a spa type situation. I can't remember what it was about, but they there. Kenya talking about, yeah, now I can finally say what's going to actually go. Because, she love to come in people's spot before they build it up and be like, oh, you should go there. Like interior decorating type stuff. So she's like, I finally get to do it with my own space. So she in there like, it's going to be a long white table right here. And then out front, we're going to have this. And da-da-da-da. And da-da-da. Telling the kid all. The kid like, I see it. Sounding like a Marla Negra. She like, you see it. So the kid was like, how are you going to juggle all this business and dating, just a leeway into a conversation about Kenya's personal life. So what Kenya say? Oh yeah, Kenya says she doesn't know how to date. She says in her confessional that the dude Roy is always out of town. So she don't know how a relationship would work with somebody that's always out of town. She said she already tried the long distance with Mark Daly and look what happened. So I mean, I get where Kenya's coming from. She probably want to do that live in her same state, her same city. But I mean, people, when you got money like Kenya and this dude Roy has, you can make a long distance work. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like when you got money, you can make it work. I just feel like they be using excuses. Like she said, she's scared to date. I mean, she don't know how to date, so that make me feel like she said she don't know how to date, but I feel like she more so scared than don't know how. Of course, she don't want the same situation to happen that would happen with Mark. But it's just like, if you like the guy, you making reasons for it to not to work. If he feel like long distance should work, then you should try it too, Kenya. So then Kenya starts telling Akila about Marlo. She's like, this girl was banging on my door. She said Brooklyn was so scared. I wasn't with that. I wasn't with what Marlo did. But at the same time, Kenya, you gotta stop bringing, you can't keep bringing your daughter on the girls' trips. And I get it. At first, she didn't have no support system and all that. She ain't had no, what they say, village. But she got a nanny now that be with Brooklyn all the time. Brooklyn knows her. So it's just like, the nanny in Brooklyn why not come? Why not come? If the baby came with the nanny and they was in another room, nobody would probably even realize it. Because Kenya would probably be more attentive and paying attention to her trip that she hosting, or just on the trip in general. Yeah, so she said Marlo banged on her door, this, that, and the third. Starts telling Akilah about Marlo, like she always wants to start stuff and then play victim. I was like, she does. I mean, Marlo does. Kenya ain't lying about that. Then she brings up Marlo's past about cutting the girl in the face. And this is where I have to agree with Marlo. This episode, Marlo made a little sense. I'm not going to lie. That's all they keep bringing up is the fact that she cut some girl face 20 years ago. How old is Marlo? Is she 50 something? She got to be in her 50s. So she probably was like, I don't know. But still, 20 years ago, a lot of people's mindset and ways and character and stuff changes in 20 years. I don't care what you say. So Kenya brings that up, and Akilah was like, whoa, you putting too much on me. You need to stay away. Like, basically saying, like, you this is not the type of woman you should be around anyway. Kenya said in her confessional that Marlo would have to renegotiate her deal with the devil before she be back cool with her. I was like, that's fun. That was funny, Kenya. I thought that was funny. She said, for me and Marlo to get back on good terms, she gonna have to I didn't know what she was about to say. She's like, she gonna have to renegotiate her deal with the devil. Then we get Sheree's little scene, which I feel like this scene was not even about Sheree. It was about her beautiful little granddaughter, Mecca. She was so cute. Cairo's little baby. It's so crazy to see Cairo grown and have a baby of his own. I remember when I first started watching the show, and Cairo was a little kid. Like, it's so crazy to see these housewives' kids grow up. Like, it's crazy as hell. He got a whole baby now, 3-month-old baby. So they bring the baby over. Cairo, baby, and the mom of the baby and all that. Sheree was like, what she say? She said in her confessional that Cairo just came in her house one day nonchalantly and was just like, oh yeah, I got a baby on the way. And so Sheree said she felt like she wasn't prepared. She said when Cairo told her that the baby mother was already 4 months pregnant. So I thought that was funny because we don't see that. I mean, growing up from Cairo, he was always a little quiet kid. So I can imagine him just coming in here. I got a baby on the way. And we see how deep his voice got. So I guess they about to like mold the baby's hand. They about to like use some little, I don't know what they was doing, but like basically molding the baby's hand. So Alina and Sheree get to talking. Sheree, like, she basically talking about how she loved how hands-on that Cairo is with the baby. And Alina was like, yeah, he's so attentive with her. And the baby mother's name is Alina. It was like, he's so attentive with her. Like, he does everything for her. And some of my friends don't even get that from their baby daddies. Sheree was like, shoot, I didn't even get that when I had kids. Yeah, she was like, I didn't even get that when I had kids. Or when I was a kid, I think she said that. So Sheree gets confessional. I mean, I said she gets confessional. I told y'all I'd be stuttering. She gets emotional in her confessional about how good of a father she see Cairo becoming, saying how she loved how he's doing things that she didn't even have when she was raising him and his sister. She was like, she's so proud of him. They show little clips of little baby Cairo to him as a man now. I was like, this is crazy how we get to see these kids grow up. And it's like, damn, I'm 28. I still feel young whole time. I done watched this boy grow up. It's crazy. So they mold the little baby's hand. Cairo, he's so like Anila said, he's so attentive and hands on with the baby. He was like, come on, little baby, put your hand in the mold. It was so cute. I thought that scene was so cute. I was like, I would rather see Sheree and her grandmother experience throughout this whole season than to see the whole stuff that's happening with Martell. Because we know the stuff with Martell is not real. Like I said on the season premiere, the season premiere this season, I said that stuff with Martell and Sheree is not real because Martell did an interview He did an interview a couple of days before the season premiere came out, saying that him and Sheree is just friends. They not even dating no more, or something like that. So I already knew that this whole storyline was fake because I saw that interview. And poor Marlo, she can't have no scenes without drama. But the little scene she had with her nephews, they had to write something that makes them happy. It just seemed so forced. Like it was like, I'm just so glad to be happy here. And I mean, I could be wrong. That could be a nice little genuine moment, but I just can't never buy nothing with Marlo, man. I feel like it's so fake, and then they hug and they fake fall on the couch. I don't know, man. So then we get to seeing Todd. He downstairs working on his little, he got this movie coming out called The Pass, where basically you married and you give your significant other a pass to go cheat, which is basically like, it's a movie out like that already called Hall Pass, which has a star-studded cast, by the way. Like, got some funny motherfuckers in that jump. And I still wonder, has Todd seen that movie? I guess he is gonna be like a black version, because the movie Hall Pass has like a white cast. I don't even think they got no black dudes in that movie. John was still funny though. So he working on this movie. Candy coming in, telling them about Courtney's event. She's like, I don't even know if I want to go because Marlo gonna be there. Who else? Oh no, not Marlo. Well, yeah, maybe because of Marlo too. But says she hesitant about going because her and Courtney still not like on good terms. But I guess if Courtney invited Candy, then I guess they want to be on. But they had that big blow up, and now she inviting her to an event. That shit threw me off. I ain't gonna lie. So Candy was like, yeah, if she ain't tell us we had to wear some stuff that get paint on it, da-da-da. So she was like, let me FaceTime Kenya. And I say that to say, like, girl, we knew this scene was gonna come. I mean, this scene was forced. But let's FaceTime Kenya to see what she wearing to the event. But I did think this was cute when Candy FaceTime Kenya. Kenya was throwing, like, you see Shamia in the video too. I mean, the FaceTime. And Kenya's throwing like a party for Brooklyn. And Candy was like, yeah, I'm so mad I couldn't be there, but I know Blaze and Ace did. I had brought the kids. And I was like, okay, that's what's up. I thought that was cute. I was like, okay, the kids, they still hang out and stuff like that when cameras ain't rolling. I thought that was cute. So they started talking about Courtney's event. And Kenya was like, well, I wasn't even on the text chain or something like that. So I was like, so Kenya wasn't invited? I'm lost. I was like, Kenya wasn't invited, but Candy was? That threw me off. So Candy was like, and she ain't tell us that, and she didn't tell us that we had to wear stuff that could get messed up. This, that, and the third. Kenya was like, well, hope she know my hair is insured, so if anything happens, she gonna have to pay. I thought that was funny. I said, okay, Kenya. I was like, that's that big talk though. Your hair insured, I like that. I was like, I like that. So Kenya starts telling Candy about what happened at the end of the last episode with the little sit down between Sheree and Drew. She doesn't even bring up what the beef was with Drew and Sheree. She says, or did she? I can't even remember, but I don't think she did. She went immediately into, what'd she say? Yeah, she goes immediately into the situation about Marlo's nephew, telling Candy what Marlo been saying, this, that, and the third about her nephew, saying Candy ain't send no flowers, this, that, and the third. So that's starting to piss Candy off. Candy getting pissed. So she in her confessional, she say Marlo already trying to amp up a negative situation and try to bring down her business, which is true. That's what she's trying to make it seem like. And it's irritating because it's like the stories are starting to not make sense. Because when I realized at the beginning, Sheree said that that they was roommates, and the roommate was working at OLG at the time he killed the nephew. But now this episode, you got Marlo saying the dude didn't work at OLG, he was a patron. So now I'm just like, what did it have to do with OLG anyway? Because the nephew wasn't working there for like 3 months before he died. So I don't even know. So that's why I like the story. The story is not making sense. So I don't blame Kandi for getting irritated. She got businesses and you making it seem like some shooting associated with her business. I get it. I definitely get it. So Kenya was like, Marlo, she gonna be there trying to make everybody against you, get everybody to be against you. So I'm gonna be there for backup. Kandi was like, I thank you, sis. I thought that was cute. I was like, okay, they sticking together. So Kandi hang up and was like, see, that's that shit I'm talking about. Todd was like, that ain't no sister. Like, that ain't your sister. It was like, she just full of bullshit. And Kandi was like, I'm just tired of her ass. So Kandi already on 10. We know what Kandi feeling. And it's already Courtney's event. I'm wondering, how long was this phone call before the event? Because the lady started showing up to Courtney's event. Drew arrives first. And then Marlo comes. She tries to say hi to Drew. Drew is not saying hi to her. She ignores her. Marlo's like, I'm going to go to the restroom. She pulled it every time. When she gets to an event and the people that's sitting there is people she don't mess with, she immediately goes off to the bathroom. If it was people like, okay, let's say if it was Courtney and Sonya there first, Marlo wouldn't have went to the bathroom. She would have set her ass right down and be like, hey ladies, and sat down. But since it was somebody there that was throwing her shade and that she ain't cool with right now, she was like, oh, I gotta go to the bathroom. So Marlo goes to the bathroom. Drew was like, she telling Courtney, I ain't spoken to her since the altercation we had. So then Marlo comes from out the bathroom. They speak to each other. Marlo was like, thank God for Alabama. They supposed to be on cool terms now. Since Alabama, her and Marlo and Monietta. So then Sheree and Sonya, they come in. Marlo tries to pull her down. I'm tired of them they keep trying to make it seem like Sheree's pregnant. Like, no, we rather hear the fibroid story because that affects a lot of black women. So I'd rather hear that story than to keep trying to play this pregnancy prank. And then she got the little glam baby. We don't need this little joke that they keep trying to pull. But Marlo's like, Sheree's expecting everybody. Then Sheree's like, no, I got a 3-month-old granddaughter. That's when Kenya arrived, and then Kandi arrives. And that's why I said, how long ago was the FaceTime between Kenya and Kandi then from this event? Because Kandi came in there on 10. She was heated. And everybody could feel it. Sonya was like, you good? Kandi was like, nope. So Kandi was like, I just need to, she was like, I need to ask one thing before my energy could even be right. She was like, Marlo, I got to ask you one thing before my energy could even be right. So Marlo was like, well, how about me, you, and Drew step off and go talk? And Kandi was like, all right, cool. So they step off. What Marlo say? She said, I don't need what'd she say? The lunch lady crew or some shit to be listening. I don't know what she said, but I thought it was funny. But I was like, girl, you just want to go over there with just y'all three so you can say whatever you want without the people that been bringing the story around, that been telling the story. She want to make sure she can say whatever she want without the people that know the story or been told the story can say their piece or whatever. So they step off. Marlo's like, so Kandi, what was said? So Kandi was like, well, you said something about when your nephew died or something like that. I didn't send flowers. Kandi didn't even really go into detail before Marlo was like, well, the whole argument wasn't even making sense because, okay, so Kandi says, you said something about I didn't send you flowers when your nephew died, this, that, and the third. So then Marlo says, well, when Drew brought up the shooting at Blaze, she tried to say incident, and I felt like it was phony. I get what Marlo's saying, but this point that she's trying to make right now has nothing to do with what Kandi's saying right now. So that's why I said this whole situation is just flubber. It's just flubber, but I don't even know the word for it. It's just like a whole bunch of bullshit. It's just like, I just don't get it. So she says, and I get what Marlo's saying in this moment, but it's not the type of it's not the type of comeback that warrants what Candy's saying, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's just so irritating. So she says, yeah, the fact that Drew tried to say incident was phony to me, because when it comes to me, everybody say I sliced the girl face, I slashed the girl face, assault record, prison time and all that. But when it comes to other people, it's getting sugar coated, and I don't like that and all that. So she says that she when her and Drew started to get into it, she did get up and get mad and say, my nephew got shot that worked at Candy's restaurant. Which is crazy, because she didn't even say the last, when she jumped up in Drew's face, she didn't even say at Candy's restaurant. She just said, my nephew got shot, bitch. So why would you even add that to it? It didn't make sense. Like, come on, man. Come on, Marlo. Like, you throwing me off. Throwing me off, Marlo. So even Candy was like, hold on. And Marlo was like, oh, my therapist, my life coach said it's about listening. Let me finish. So Marlo says, she says, 2 years ago, when I was getting emotional about my nephew, you seemed like you didn't even want to hear it. She said you seemed like you didn't want to deal with it. And they show this one little clip of Candy pushing her head, like rolling her eyes back and pushing her head back, when they probably was talking about something totally different. Because what we seen at the beginning of the episode, Marlo was crying about her nephew, and Candy consoled her and all that, and even said in her confessional, I can only imagine what Marlo's going through. So I'm just like, come on, man. I don't even understand Marlo's whole point. Like, come on. So, where's she at? So Candy was like, why? Why did you... She says why to Marlo, saying, it seemed like you didn't want to deal with it when I was emotional. Candy was like, why? Then she was like, she was like, no, what you trying to do? Candy says, what you trying to do is attach your cousin's death to my, what she say? Yeah, you trying to attach your cousin's death with me and my businesses. What she say? Yeah, she said, that's what you're trying to do. She was like, but it don't have nothing to do with me. She was like, I told you he no longer worked there, this, that, and the third. She was like, so why are you running back and making it seem like it had something to do with me or my businesses? Like, basically, like, what are you doing? She was like, you don't do that. So then Marlo says in her confessional, she says, what'd she say? I'm not mad at Candy for my cousin's death, about my cousin's death. She was like, because he died because of COVID. No, she said, she said, I'm not mad at Candy for my nephew's death. She said he stopped working at OLG because of COVID. So it makes it basically trying to seem like, I don't even know. I'm not even about to go there, because the whole story is a reach. But she says, yeah. What she say? God damn, this whole story is just so annoying and confusing for me. Oh, she said she mad at Candy because Candy ignores things and people allow her to get away with it. Which I don't feel that happens. I don't feel that happens. I feel like Candy's life and stuff always put on Front Street. She just know how to handle it better than other people. That's the problem. Like, you can't handle it the way Candy can. That's what the real issue is. Because Candy's life get put on Front Street just like the other ladies. Shoot, do you not remember the whole situation with... Well, first of all, when she first came on the show, she had just lost somebody. I can't remember if it was her fiance, husband or something. They had died or something. She had to talk about that. And then, let's not forget the whole situation with Portia and Phaedra. Candy done had her fair share of stuff. Let's not forget about, I can't even remember who she was getting into with that episode. She was like, I dragged her. That's when she had the short haircut. I can't even remember that. Candy done had her fair share. They just mad. They just mad because she know how to handle it better than most people. So Drew tries to speak. She was like, let me say something. Marlo was like, no, you can leave now. I thought that was funny as hell, bro. I thought that was funny. She was like, Drew, she brung Drew over there. She said, let's me, you, and Drew talk, Candy. Then when Drew tries to get a word in, she's like, no, you can leave now. Didn't even let Drew say anything. I thought that was funny as hell. So she was like, you can leave now. And Drew was like, no, I'm not gonna leave. So Marlo starts Marlo starts spewing off. Oh, my nephew did work for you. We got pictures of y'all together. Da da da. And Candy was like, I never said he didn't work there. Like, what are you talking about? They showing the pictures of Marlo's nephew with Todd and OLG and Candy and all that. And I'm just like, what is that proving? It ain't proving anything because Candy said he did work there. He just didn't work there when he died. So back at the table, the ladies just watching. They just like, oh my God, this is getting so heated. Da da da. So Monyetta's like, oh, maybe I should go over there and intervene. Sheree was like, no, let's let the people who is between, like, they can handle it amongst themselves, this and the third. Sheree was in her confession, like, God damn, Monyetta, like, everybody always want to play the hero. I was like, I ain't lying, like, Monyetta, like, you don't have to be involved right now. It didn't look like it was getting too heated to me. I was like, you just want to be over there. You just want to just try to defend your friend. We get it. You supposed to be on good terms with Marlo, so until it get physical, you need to just stay back. So Marlo and Candy, they still going at it. Candy, she was like, Quentin worked there 3 months before he died. So, and then Marlo was like, well, what does that say about your character? Because y'all always bring up stuff about me 20 years ago, da-da-da. So then she tries to say, my nephew got killed by somebody at your place. And Candy was like, it wasn't no worker. It wasn't no worker. And Marlo was like, yes, it was. Then she says, oh, no, it was a patron. And I'm just like, this is where I was just like, wow, okay. So the nigga didn't even work there. Even Candy was like, so the dude that was the roommate didn't even work there. Did he frequent there? It don't even matter. He didn't work there. So it's just the fact that you still trying to attach this situation, like Candy said, like, come on, man. So Candy still, she like, I'm not denying he didn't work there. They still going back and forth. The ladies feel like it's getting heated, so they come over there to intervene. Kenya holding Candy back. A couple of the ladies holding Marlo back. It was like 3 ladies holding Marlo back. It was Sonya, Sheree, and I think Courtney. And then Drew was just like, barking. While Kenya was holding Candy back, the other 3 ladies was holding Marlo back, and Drew was just like in the middle. Bark. Was anybody else there? And Monyetta, she was over there with Candy. Marlo calls Candy a crybaby, and Candy was like, I'm only crying because I can't choke your ass. And people, we done all had that moment where you get so emotional because you can't get to somebody. So, yeah. Well, especially in reality TV. Reality TV, them don'ts that really be, the women that on reality TV that really be thumping, if they get emotional, they just mad because they can't get to somebody. Or they just play it cool. Like if y'all watch Baddies West Reunion, you saw how Tommy Lee did her thing. She was just in that jump. She was like, what? You either gonna be like Tommy or you gonna be like Candy. Even though low-key Tommy, I don't know, it be the editing, but Tommy got dropped in that reunion by Natalie, so I'm going off script anyway. So Marlo, she starts, I think at this point, they done took Candy outside, Kenya, Drew, Monyetta. So Marlo, she starts telling Courtney, Sonya, and Sheree. What'd she say? Oh, she started basically telling them, like, why things got heated and this, that, and the third. And they was like, oh, because, you emotional about your nephew. That's why things got heated between you and Drew. And this, that, and the third. And I was like, Courtney, I thought Drew was supposed to be your cousin. You over here, like, low-key shading her with Marlo. And Candy outside with Drew, Monyetta, Candy, basically going off. Like, you saying all this. You ain't, like, you the one that sliced that woman's face up. Just, like, kind of proving Marlo's point. I ain't gonna hold you, but she was like, basically they talking about stuff that she did. Candy starts reading the text messages between her and Marlo, and then gives a little more info on the text messages. So we saw at the beginning of the text message where she was like, it was my nephew working for you. And she said, he used to work for us. He passed away. Damn, sorry to hear that. And then she said something about Marlo. hitting her up saying, join a Cameo through her or something like that. I didn't even know what Cameo was. I had to ask. So apparently it's some type of app where you do like little videos. I don't know. But she said Marlo didn't seem too upset about her nephew when she texted Candy in that same thread or something like that, asking her to do Cameo or something like that. So Kenya in the background basically saying like, yeah, she just doing all this. She's just doing all this for a moment. So they basically panning back and forth to the parking lot with Candy, Kenya, Drew, and Marietta, and then back in the in this game place that we didn't even get to see until the end with Courtney, Marlo, Sheree, and Sonya. So Marlo going back, panning back to Marlo and them. She's saying Candy never wants to reveal anything that puts her in a bad light. And I already done said how I feel. Like, I feel like Candy does reveal stuff that puts her in a bad light. She just know how to handle it better, like I said. Then they go back to the parking lot, and Drew's like, Marlo was being super aggressive towards Candy, like you didn't even see. And then they show the clips of Marlo just standing there with her hands behind her back. And then they showed a confessional scene with Candy. The producers asking Candy, like, did you feel threatened by Marlo in that moment? And Candy was like, hell no, I ain't feel threatened by no Marlo. So it's just like, Drew, shut up. That's why I said when they was having their little separate, Drew was just like, this whole situation just like, why we got to talk about somebody's death and make it this way? I don't even like it. And why we talking about stuff from 20 years ago, slashing a girl's face? Like, all this stuff is redundant. So Marlo, she back in the game place. I keep about to say bowling alley because that's what it was given, but she was like, keep wanting to bring up my past, what I did 23 years ago. She said 23 years ago. I thought it was like 20, but 23 years ago. So that means she was probably like 20 maybe. If she's like 53. Oh no, she was like 33 then. Girl, get your life. I don't know. Said people want to keep bringing up what I did 23 years ago. Unless she's 43. But I don't buy Marlo being 43. I don't know. How old is Marlo? So she was like, they keep wanting to bring up what I did 23 years ago. Sheree seemingly agrees in her confessional. She's like, oh yeah, they keep bringing up stuff that she did years ago. And like, but when it comes to other people, it don't make sense. Da da da. And then they show clips of Candy and Kenya bringing up Marlo cutting a girl's face literally like 10 minutes ago in the episode. I was just like, I don't know. It's some producers on Marlo's side this season. I give her that. It's some producers on her side this season. So then Sonya and Courtney, they trying to stay neutral. They was like, let's go check on Candy. So they go out to go check on Candy. Candy already gone. Well, when they come out there, Candy's leaving. She's like, I'll talk to y'all later. She hop in her car, she leave. So Drew starts talking. It's all Marlo's fault. She was being aggressive, da-da-da. And she was being aggressive to me the other day. So Sonya was like, well, how do you feel? Sonya was like, why do you feel that Marlo was being aggressive to you the other day? Says that to Drew. So Drew and Kenya was like, oh, you don't even know the situation. Start explaining to Sonya. I was like, Kenya, you shut up. You wasn't even there. You wasn't even there, Kenya. Let Drew tell her story. So Drew starts telling the story about why her and Marlo was getting into it. Starts saying again that she don't say the word shooting. I was just like, oh my God. Even the girls in the confessional, Marietta, Kenya, who else? Sonya, they was all in their confessional like, girl, what? Saying she don't say shooting. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, they know you well in that moment. So it's like, how can we believe you and you lying within your story? That's why Marlo can feel like she can get away with stuff when it comes to Drew, because Drew lying in the midst of telling her story, saying you didn't want to say shooting because that's not what because you don't say that word, but then we catch you saying the word. So then they pan back into the little event place with Marlo and just Sheree in there, because Courtney and Sonya stepped out. Marlo was like, if Drew would have hit me, I would have fell down to the ground, child. Like, like I would have sued her. I thought that was funny. Because it looked like that's what Drew, I mean, it looked like that's what Marlo would have did if Candy would have hit her. And you see Candy, that's why Candy kept her restraint, because she know the type of girl, she know the type of woman that Marlo is. She said, I'm crying because I can't choke you right now. Because I'm on TV and I got a lot to lose, and you would try to sue me for my money. So back outside, Drew and Kenya, they trying to tell Courtney she's been hoodwinked by Marlo. Even Marietta was like, I even tried to give her a chance. So it's like, oh, so now you done with Marlo after that because she got into it with your friend. She ain't get into it with you. Like, have your own mind, Marietta. If y'all gonna be peace kumbaya in Alabama, you can't get mad because she get into it with your friends. This is what this girl group does. You gonna either just not be your friend or stop trying to, like, I don't know. I don't know. Marietta throwing me off. I'd rather see Sonya's sister than Marietta's. Sorry. Bring her back. So Sonya was telling Courtney, she's like, you ain't been hoodwinked. Don't listen to them. So Courtney was like, well, how about we go back inside? Because we know we still got my event. I was like, Courtney, girl, that event's over, girl. You done brought some drama. So Drew was like, oh, the trick got to go. King was like, yeah, the trick got to go. I'm just like, what is this right now? I'm like, is Kenya piggybacking off of Drew, or is Drew piggybacking off of Kenya? It was just so weird. So Sonya was like, don't call her a trick. Sonya just trying to be neutral. But it's kind of like you showed your hand when you went to go check on Marlo and not Candy. And Candy dipped out as soon as you came outside. So I think Candy kind of see where you stand at now, Sonya. But in this moment, she's trying to be neutral. She's like, oh, Marlo, don't call Marlo a trick. Drew was like, she's a hoe ass trick. She's like, oh, no, she was a hoe trick. She's like, that's what she is. And I was just like, wow. I was like, wow. So Sonya says in her confessional, she was like, oh, Drew trying to be Sonya's little what's she say? No, Sonya says in her confessional that Drew's trying to be Kenya and Candy's little lap dog. And then they showed a clip of Drew last season throwing dogs at Sonya. I mean, throwing dog bones at Sonya. And she was like, Sonya was like, somebody need to throw some bones at Drew. I was like, okay, Sonya, way to bring that back. Because in that moment, Drew was kind of looking like a tag along. I was like, way to bring that back into the fold, Sonya. That was funny. So Sonya and Courtney, they go back in to Sheree and Marlo, and Sonya tells them that Candy left, but Marietta and Kenya and Drew still out in the parking lot. They don't want to come back in or something like that. Well, she said she told them to come back in. They ain't come back in or something like that. So Sheree was like, oh, Marietta don't want to come back in either? Marlo was like, the Queen Candy's upset, so nobody wants to come back in. Da-da-da. I was like, the Queen Candy's gone. So they doing this on their own. They out there because they want to be at this point. This was the most hilarious thing of the entire episode. Sheree's confessionals been top tier. I probably would have to give her MVP. I probably have to give her MVP for this, what she said in her confessional. I don't think this about Kenya. Sorry, Marietta. But the way you was itching to get over there in that fight at the table before it looked like it was about to get physical, I can't help but to feel the way I feel about you. But she said, what Sheree say in this confession? I had to write this down because it was so funny. She said, Kenya and Marietta are acting like they just crossed the burning sands of Candy Coated Cliff. She said, I wonder how much the initiation fee was. She said, I hope they got a check. I was just like, I said, bravo, Sheree. That was funny as hell. I don't think Kenya is a follower to Candy. I think Kenya has her own Karen-ass mind. But when it came to I thought that was funny as hell. Kudos to Sheree for that. That was the most hilarious moment. I thought that was hilarious. And what Kenya said earlier in the episode about Marlo having to renegotiate her deal with the devil, I thought that was funny too. Those were like the most funniest confessionals in this episode. Like I said, Sheree, I feel like Sheree is like number one as far as these shady confessionals. I feel like she's number one this season so far. Second up would be Kenya. And then third up would be Sonya. And then fourth, I would probably say Drew. Maybe. Remember last episode? What episode was that with Sheree was like, I would love to go see what'd she say? Flopping with Drew. So Sheree been on point this season. But this young, they act like they done crossed the burning sands. She say, hold on, what she say? Yeah, act like they just crossed the burning sands of Candy Cody Click, bro. That was hilarious as hell. I hope they. How much was the initiation fee? I thought that was funny. So Sonya, they sitting down. Sonya's like, I don't know why Drew keeps calling you aggressive, saying this to Marlo. Then they pan back outside. Drew and Kenya, I guess they like fake fighting. Drew like, what you want to do? Kenya like, I can get you out. I can get you with one hand or something. Then walks up to her and whispers and like right to the throat. And I was just like, what is Karen doing? What are you doing, Karen? What are you talking about? Karen. She's like, I can get you with one slice. I mean, what'd she say? She said, I can get you with one hit, and whispers to Drew. Right to the throat. I was just like, what was that? I don't know. So back inside, Sonya, she riding hard for Marlo. You can't be calling somebody aggressive when the whole time she had her hands behind her back. That's not cool. Marlo in her confessional, fake getting emotional, talking about something. Y'all just need to leave my past alone. This is why I don't open up. But them last four ladies, it ends basically, and Marlo, Sheree, Sonya, and Courtney, they end up playing the games, which looked super fun. Like, I wish we could have seen that with all the ladies playing, but that's some type of stuff. That's the type of stuff that Candy be into. And I was just like, dang, and Kenya, they both like the competitive athletic stuff. So I was just like, probably wouldn't have been good for Drew anyway. She probably would have broke something. So let's be thankful that Drew didn't play that stuff. But the fact that you left Drew and it was your cousin's event, that says a lot too. It's supposed to be your cousin. You were so pressed. But they end up playing the games. The games look super fun. Then they get like this big ass splash of paint on them at the end. I ain't gonna lie, it looked this hella fun. Like, I would do something like that. It looked hella fun. I wish all the ladies could have did it. At least Candy, Kenya. Who cares about money? I don't really care. But at least Candy could have did it, because that's the type of stuff they into. But that's how the episode ended, and I just feel like I said, I will grade this episode a B+ because Candy got turned up. She was like, I'm crying because I can't choke your ass. I thought that was funny. B+ for this episode. I give it a B+. Predictions for episodes to come. Did I even see anything? I did see the preview for next season, but I forgot what I saw. I'll be high. I don't remember. I do think. Dang, can y'all hear my stomach growling? I'm about to eat. Just woke up. Dang, I'm trying to think of. I wonder how Courtney gonna feel that Drew just left her event. And I wonder how Candy gonna feel about Sonya not coming to check on her to the last minute. Those are the only things I'm really wondering about. I ain't really got nothing that I'm predicting. I'm just watching these episodes as they go along. I don't think this is the end between Candy and Marlo. I think they done, but I think they're gonna get into it again. At this point, this season ain't giving. I'm ready for the reunion. Whatever. I'm ready for Potomac. I hope they switch Potomac up. I don't want to see Giselle and Robin no more. I'm sorry. I don't. I can still tolerate Ashley. Of course, I want to see Candy. I love Wendy, but I need her to have a better storyline. I need her to be more. I need to see more of her working and her jobs and stuff, and more of her beautiful family, her cute little chocolate babies. I'm going off script. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching this review. I'm high. Whatever. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel and comment below what you thought about the episode, what you thought about what I talked about, if I forgot anything, if I was off on anything, what you would grade the episode. Comment all that stuff, good stuff below. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time. Peace.